Gate drop, and Jeremy Seewer, 4 gates over, looked like he grabbed the foxhole shot, but it was Jorge Prado for the 6th time who kept the power on around the outside, took his teammate with him on the 101, Mattia Guadagnini, and what was a drying out racetrack after the water dump from MX2 race 1. Seewer quickly got shuffled back to 4th place as Fevbre went through in a 2nd, Guadagnini 3rd, Herlings there in about 5th place, and then Fernandez 6th, and then Koldenhoff. Herlings just finding his way past Guadagnini. That moved him up a position. But top of the hill, going down after clipping the wheel of Vlaanderen. Maxime Renaux, that put him from 11th down to 18th. It would only muster 13th by the flag. And then Fernandez fell from 4th place just before the halfway mark. He would eventually come home in 7th for Team HRC. Glenn Koldenhoff got the better of his teammate Jeremy Seewer to take over 4th place. And then Alberto Ferrato under attack from the number 10, Vlaanderen. Vlaanderen eventually going through for 8th. Ferrato coming home in 9th on the 303. Last couple of laps, so Jeffrey Herlings, who'd struggled with arm pump in the early stage of the race, once it freed himself up, he was able to close in. Couldn't do anything about Romain Febvre, and it was Jorge Prado who came home with his 5th race win of the season. Fevre 2nd, Herlings 3rd from Koldenhoff and Seewer. So that was MXGP race 1. And we're going to go down to the pre-grid. We're going to go catch a word with Lisa Lane. And I think she was with Ruben Fernandez. Let's see what he has to say ahead of race 2.
We're almost ready for the final race of the day, MXGP race 2. But let's speak to Ruben Fernandez from Team HRC. Ruben, you're the pole man today. Strong start. You were P4 in that first race. You made a little mistake, dropped down to P7. Perhaps feeling a little bit of the pressure?
Well, sure, you always have a little bit more pressure at home. You want to do good, but it's a good one, you know. It's nice to feel this pressure, to feel the support from all the fans. Actually, I'm enjoying racing here. And, you know, track was a little bit sketchy first moto, you know. It was difficult. It was very mono line, you know. It was pretty much one line, difficult to make passes, and once I had a little crash on a corner, I dropped back to 7, and it was difficult to try to get close or make a pass on someone. So yeah, let's see how the track is now on this second moto, and hopefully can have a good start and control the race.
Best of luck for this one. Thank you, Ruben. Okay, good luck for all the guys. It's time for our final race, MXGP race 2.
I think she's scaring off all the interviewees. Only one rider today for MX2 and MXGP. Let's take a look at the calendar, shall we? We are now round 5, MXGP of Portugal, Agada. Next week we go to Spain, a week off, and then France. And then week off, then we go to Latvia and Germany. Then a week off, and then we got the back-to-backs in Indonesia. Look, Sumbawa and Lombok. We finish the MXGP season in Great Britain on the 1st of October, and then the big one, of course, the Monster Energy FIM Motocross Nations at Renaux on the 8th of October. If you've been there before, seen it and done it, then you will not want to miss that one. And you know that as well. So go to the usual places for all the information, mxgp.com, of course. See the calendar, click the actual venue itself, and all the information, airports, road, and whatever else will be right there. There's Romain Febvre. We just caught a glimpse of Ruben Fernandez a moment ago. I was talking to Jeffrey Herlings in the break, said it was arm pump, and then eventually it just freed itself, which is why he was able to go after Fevre, and he said he really wanted to pass Fevre because obviously that then second position, you're in more control about the overall classification, especially in the event of a tie, or a, let's say, a 1-2 and a 1-3 situation. There's Vlaanderen. Anyway, riders down there making their way to the grid. Take a look at the championship as it stands right now, and on 231, Jorge Prado, he's 27 points clear now. Maxime Renaux heading into this race. Sorry, this is yeah, Herlings, and then sorry, got an issue there, I think, with that graphic, because Prado on 231, Herlings 204, Fevre 194, Renaux 192, and then Ruben Fernandez. MXGP riders making their way to the line then, ahead of their second race of the afternoon, the MXGP of Portugal here at Águeda. And the riders going to the line in this order after Ruben Fernandez won the Ram qualifying race on Saturday. And the riders then funneling behind him, followed by Jeffrey Herlings, Vlaanderen, Jeremy Seewer, Romain Febvre, Jorge Prado. It was an up-and-down race for both Fevre and Prado. Van Donnick goes to line 7th, and then Mattia Guadagnini with Brian Bogus and Valentin Guillot. Ben Watson still yet to score in the qualifying race, but that was his best result of the season so far, and he turned that into a decent result in that first race as well. 12th place for the Brit. Max Spies will go to the line 17th, then Alvin Osland and the rest of the guys. Ruben Fernandez got to 4th pretty quickly in the early stages of the race, stayed there until lap 8 when he fell, just lost the front 2/3 of the way around the lap, and eventually came home in 7th, so maybe the pressure is off now for a podium, and guess what, you might even just get one after that. Jorge Prado, Red Bull Gas Factory Racing, 5 wins now, and all 5 wins coming in the first race at each of the 5 rounds. Can he do it though this time in the second race? Jeffrey Herlings, Red Bull KTM, arm pump in the first laps messed him up, settled itself down eventually for him to put on a charge to Romain Febvre here, number 3, but wasn't able to do anything about the Frenchman. Another lap, another few corners, who knows? But we will never know, because the flag went out as he was all over the back of him. Jeremy Seewer got caught by his teammate Glenn Koldenoff around about the halfway mark. Koldenoff went through 4th, Seewer eventually came home in 5th. And then Calvin Vlaanderen didn't make the best start, but eventually carved his way to 8th ahead of Alberto Ferrato and Valentin Guillot of Switzerland, number 92. But looking down on the grid, Fernandez in gate 1, Herlings in gate 2, Vlaanderen in gate 3. As the Fly Racing 15-second board goes up for the final time this weekend, that is a view down to the first turn from behind the riders as they line up. 5-second board has turned. MXGP Race 2 underway here in Portugal. And again, Seewer, but this time, it was very tight between him and Prado. But it's Seewer who leads to the top of the hill. Fernandez has got himself into 2nd. Prado gets pushed out to the outside. Herlings there in 4th place. Fevre in 5th on the green Kawasaki. And Guadagnini there in 6th place. But it's Seewer who leads at the top of the hill. But not for much longer. 3 abreast as they drop down the run towards the finish line. It's Fernandez who leads. Seewer 2nd, Herlings 3rd. Great recovery job for the Bullet, but he comes up short on the triple. Prado there in 4th place, looking menacing early on as well. Fevre, and then Vlaanderen, number 10. He is in 6th. Guadagnini in 7th place. Then we've got Koldenoff, Bogus, Ferrato, Watson, Guillot, Van Donnick in 13th. Alberto is 14th, then Tomcock. Renaux, 16, Osland, Lapino, Spies and Pacharel. Evans in 21st place. Side by side up the hill. Seewer and Herlings. But it's the Swiss who still holds on. But it's Fernandez who leads the way. Can he do what he did in the qualifying race, which was 20 minutes plus 2 laps? This one, 30 minutes plus 2. Now the pressure is off for that top step of the podium, or any step of the podium. He will know that he can't do any more than a win, and if he is on the box as a result of that, then fine, fair enough, and he will be if he stays where he is. But he's not got a lot of room for manoeuvre though, as Herlings charges down the inside of Seewer, takes over 2nd on this opening lap. Seewer tries to respond immediately. Still got some work to do, Herlings, but he does lock down there in that 2nd place now. Sets his sights on Ruben Fernandez. Of course, in the championship chase, 27 points behind Jorge Prado coming into this weekend. Jeffrey Herlings going into this final race of the day. First lap complete, fastest man on track, Ruben Fernandez. 1.7 seconds clear of Herlings. Third in the blue there is 91 of Jeremy Seewer of Switzerland. A mistake there, I think, was there? Just no, maybe just the roost. Fevbre fourth, number 3 on the factory Kawasaki. Then Prado in 5th place, losing a position to the hard-charging Frenchman. So just put this in perspective then, when Jorge Prado has won the first race, it's either been 1-6, 1-6, 1-3 and 1-3. And he's currently in 5th place at the moment, your winner from race 1. This is a lap ago. This is Fevre on Prado. Down the inside. And got alongside the Spaniard. That is why we're seeing him in 4th place. Vlaanderen closing in on Prado now as well. The Gavin van den Rooij Yamaha rider, number 10. Third in the qualifying race on Saturday. 8th in race 1. Currently circulating in 6th there is the number 10. Jeremy Seewer there in blue, being caught massively on this lap by Romain Febvre. They're about to duke it out for 3rd place. But Ruben Fernandez absolutely on it in the opening laps here. 1.7 seconds clear. Fevre with Seewer in his sights. Wow, very close to the edge of the racetrack there, Jeremy Seewer, when he came into land. Wow, back end just kicking out there from Prado as he crested the summit. Vlaanderen alongside Prado, not able to do anything about it though in that turn 6. Going to get squeezed at the end of the straight as well. What you can't see is how big those braking bumps are and the speed in which those riders are hitting them at the end of pit straight. Vlaanderen tries to navigate a line up the inside. He's going to have to go the long way round here. That's exactly what he does, but he's closed off immediately mid-turn. Prado protecting his investment, face full of roost off the rear wheel of Fevre's Kawasaki as well as he gets the other side of the jump there. But frantic action here in the early stages of this MXGP race 2. So far, Fernandez 2 seconds clear of Herlings. But this, an enthralling contest between Jorge Prado, your winner from race 1, and Calvin Vlaanderen. Track very edgy, very chewed up. Our cameras could zoom in on some of those takeoffs. You would see exactly what we're on about. But with just over 24 minutes to go, Fernandez continues to lead. 2 seconds his gap over Herlings. And Fevre looking to go around the outside of Seewer. Seewer still hanging on, though, to that 3rd place. How much longer, though? That's the question. Romain Febvre right in the roost and the real tracks of Seewer as they complete their 3rd lap. They charge into lap 4, separated by not a lot. But the fastest rider on track, Jeffrey Herlings, the fastest lap of the race, a 150.19, about 0.3 quicker than Ruben Fernandez. The gap about 1.8 seconds. But all of a sudden, joining the party, and a little bit peeved being there in that 5th position, Jorge Prado, Red Bull Gas. Getting his claws back into the rear wheel of the 3 of Fevre, who doubles into the waves. He came up short as well. He took a chance. But the track so deteriorated that it was a risk trying to try it anyway. And that has allowed Prado to get right back in on him. Sometimes when you case like that, jars your knees and your wrists. Saw him just tighten up as he jumped into that wave section. Watch this here. Just see him breeze a little bit there as he came in short. messed him up through the next rhythm as well, and that's allowed Prado to get right back onto the rear wheel. Will he come out of there early? Yes, he does. Opens up the turn, but no way through. Oh, over jump there for the 61 Prado. Renaux down in 11th place. Not sure if there were some issues with him when he fell in that first race, when he tagged the rear wheel of Calvin Vlaanderen. Looked like did he fall on his shoulder there? I'm not sure, but anyway. Oh, Fevre a little bit offline and corrects at the top of the hill. Quick enough to deny Prado a route through, but all of a sudden, fastest man on track, fastest lap of the race, number 84. The bullet has been fired. He goes after Ruben Fernandez. Nothing in it as they hit the line, just over half a second. But it's Herlings who is looking for his second race win of the season. Oh, just can't find a way through though. Jeffrey Herlings all over the back of Ruben Fernandez now. This, the battle for the lead. Herlings double, triple over the Monster Energy Dragon's back. Not able to find a way past the Honda rider though for Team HRC. Already on the top step of the podium though. But this one would just put the icing on the cake, but he needs to beat Prado, who's you win it from race 1, Herlings third. Fevre was second. Watch this here. This is Jorge Prado. A mistake, and oh, a big mistake. Lucky to stay up. And Vlaanderen out dragging him at the end of the straight. Yes, he does. So Vlaanderen then up in the 5th place. Meanwhile, Herlings putting the pressure on Fernandez massively as he dives down the inside. The Red Bull KTM takes the lead away from Fernandez. And when we cross the line at the end of lap 5, we will have a new race leader in the form of Herlings. Watch this here. Darts down the inside, just buries the wheels in early. Went in 2 bike lengths behind, came out 1.5 ahead. Inside, be smart. That's the message for Ruben Fernandez. I think what he'll do, though, is try and follow some of the lines of Herlings, see if he can latch on. If he can apply some pressure from behind, who knows? Might just force him into a mistake. But we're talking about a rider who has 189 race victories. And if he wins today, he will tie Stefan Everts on the all-time Grand Prix win list, 101 Grand Prix victories. It's the kind of experience that we're talking about. And there's just a small matter of 5 world titles in there, in that stat as well. Fevre still hasn't found his way past Seewer. But it's bar-to-bar stuff between him and the Swiss. Oh, catching an edge. Almost at the front door for the number 3. Who put his fastest lap in last time around. As did Vlaanderen. Vlaanderen, though, about 7/10 off of the time of Fevre. And he is about 3.5 seconds adrift of these two. So Romain Febvre, deep breath. Let's go again. How efficient was Herlings into that corner, though, when he made that move on Fernandez? When you look, these two guys go through there. Just struggling for stability, maybe, dropping into that turn. 6 laps complete. Herlings now 1.9 seconds clear of Ruben Fernandez. Jeremy Seewer third. Romain Febvre here on the Kawasaki in 4th place, number 3. Vlaanderen is in 5th, Prado in 6th. That's going to put Prado 3rd overall in the Grand Prix, tied with Romain Febvre. Fevre looking at his 2nd visit to the podium. Maybe his best podium of the season as well, because he was 3rd in Switzerland. He'll be 2nd here this weekend. even if he doesn't find his way past Jeremy Seewer. Both riders now launching into the wave section. Circuit conditions allowing that to happen. Squeaky brake. That's what happens when you just hear the dab of the back brake when the disc and the pads not overheating, but you know they're pretty hot. Seewer, wide sweep, and then changing the exit of the line. Same there. In wide, out early. Trying to smooth things out a little bit, but didn't smooth things out there. Just asked too much of the rear wheel. Just losing a little bit of traction. It's allowed Fevre a route back in. Fernandez at the top of the hill already on the run down towards the finish line. Herlings on the line now, a 150.455. Seewer riding a very wide Yamaha at the moment, making it difficult for Fevre to find his way through on his Kawasaki. Seewer still in search of his first podium this year as well. 6th overall, round 2 in Sardinia. Going to be 5th overall for his best Grand Prix finish of the season. Stays where he is, even if Fevre goes by as well. Quick pull of the tear off there on that downhill step. Jumping across to the right. Oh, and Fevre gets up the inside of Seewer and broke his rhythm. Neither riders could double into the wave section, but Fevre forced the issue and forced himself into 3rd place. Great riding that from the Frenchman. Committed early, but the only way he could do it, watch this here, before that, it would be nice to see the takeoff actually, because that's where he created the magic. So Fevre 3rd, Seewer now 4th. Fevre put himself on 42 points with a 2nd and a 3rd. There's Vlaanderen in the background, Prado 1.6 behind him. Prado was quicker than Vlaanderen by a 2nd that lap as well. That will keep him on the podium. But as we go just below the 15-minute mark, Herlings leads, Fernandez 2nd, Fevre now 3rd here on the Kawasaki, 4th for Jeremy Seewer, again asking a little bit too much of the landing ramp there. Vlaanderen 5th, Prado 6th, Guadagnini 7th, Koldenhoff 8th, Guillaume 9th, and Maxime Renaux now 10th place. And then we've got Van Donnick, Bogus, Watson, Ferrato, Pacharel, Osland, Lupino, Spies, Paolo Alberto, and Michael Ivanov, the final point scorer. Yeah, keep the pressure on Romain Febvre. That's the message to Jeremy Seewer. And this was a lap ago, heading uphill. This is how Fevre orchestrated the move. That was Fevre orchestrating the move a lap ago that just knocked Seewer out of his stride to double into the waves. And then he was always on the wrong side there as they hit turn 12. Great bit of riding that from Romain Febvre. Driest the track has been all weekend long then. The stones coming to the surface due to the warm weather and the drying nature of the track. It's like riding on marbles in some parts of the racetrack. Prado gaining in ground on the number 10 of Calvin Vlaanderen all of a sudden. This will be Jorge Prado for 3rd overall. He's already 3rd overall in the classification anyway, but it'll be 5 podiums from 5 rounds for the championship leader. And as it stands right now, as he gets closer to the rear wheel of the number 10, Jorge Prado will lead Jeffrey Herlings by 17 points, is that? Or is that 27? That's 17 points, isn't it? So as we look at Prado gaining ground on Vlaanderen, here's how Vlaanderen found his way past the Spaniard. A scrub that went a little bit too wrong, possibly. Prado knew it as well. Whoa, they did. Fortunate to get away with that one. Taking a breather. And now he's on the back of the Yamaha man once more. And this is that battle for 5th place. Currently led out by Calvin Vlaanderen. He's getting closer to Jeremy Seewer as well, possibly. Yeah, Vlaanderen going wide as well. Look at the ground you gain by jumping and not jumping into the waves. Just under 12 minutes plus 2 to go. Jorge Prado, after his earlier mistake that allowed Vlaanderen through into 5th place. Prado now right on the rear wheel of the Dutch South African once more. He's already 3rd overall in the classification with a win and what is a 6th place at the moment, giving him 40 points. If he finds his way past the number 10, give him another point. But at the moment, his lead that started out over Maxime Renaux, 17 points coming into the weekend, 27 after race 1 over Jeffrey Herlings, who was now 2nd in the championship, leapfrogging Maxime Renaux. That was the start of the race, 27 points. And with Herlings leading the way and Prado down in 6th, that gap now down to 17 points as it stands right now. So nothing ventured, nothing gained. The gap between 1st and 2nd the same, except it's Herlings now 17 points behind Prado and not Maxime Renaux. Maxime Renaux dropping down to 4th place this weekend, and he's lost a fair chunk of an advantage as well. Because Prado on 246, Renaux on 203. Renaux 13th in race 1, currently circulating in 10th in race 2. So Herlings doubles into the waves as well. Makes that next rhythm so much easier because you double in and then it doubles all the way into that banked left-hander, turn 12. When I spoke to him, he said it's only race 1 where he seems to have this arm pump problem at the moment. Well, true to his word. Oh, he said normally as well then and laughed about it. And true to his word at the moment, doesn't look like there are any issues with those solid arms. It makes it very difficult to hold on. Again, if you don't know what arm pump is because you're new to the sport of motocross, maybe put a pair of gloves on just for extra resistance. But even if you just stood there for about a minute and really clenched your fists, open, close, as fast as you can, as hard as you can, for about a minute, you'll soon pretty much feel how those arms start to burn, your forearms start to burn. Well, magnify that by 10, maybe even more, and that's exactly what the rider's doing. But the problem is, the throttle hand, you need that freedom of movement. You don't need that arm to be solid. Otherwise, it restricts the movement that you've got over the throttle, and then braking as well, because the front brake is on the right-hand side, and then the clutch on the left-hand side. And your hands feel like they're sort of getting bigger and opening up on the handlebar grips, and you can't hold on. That is arm pump. But no such problems for Herlings this time around. Fernandez 4.3 seconds behind. Fevre now 8.2 behind the Spaniard. But he's going to be on the podium for the first time, for the second time in 3 rounds. Romain Febvre. Eight and a half to go. When you've got the conditions this hard, this dry, normally tailor-made for Romain Febvre, who gets it right this time. Remember earlier on in the race when he just misjudged it into that wave section, came up short. Prado 8/10 behind Vlaanderen. Are we going to see a change for 5th place? They are over at the end of the waves. Coming towards us now, top of the hill. There you go. Seewer, Vlaanderen, Prado. Guadagnini just keeping a watching brief on his teammate. Guadagnini in 7th place at the moment. Haven't seen too much of him during this race. is there one last charge for Prado? How difficult will Vlaanderen make it for the 61 to find his way past? Then you've got Seewer at the head of these two. Saw how long it took Romain Febvre to find his way past for that move on third place. Seewer, yeah, a little bit more central when he comes into land now. Twice he was all the way over on the left-hand side. In fact, there is wheel tracks in the landing zone, almost off the edge of the track. Maxime Renaux, even though he's down there in 10th place at the moment, he's just gone at fastest time in Sector 2 in the race so far, as he sits behind Valentin Guillot. Oh, a lot of dancing down there, but this is not Dancing with the Stars, is it? High speed, down past pit lane, hitting all of those holes, bumps, rocks, ruts at the end of the straight as well. So much movement beneath the riders at that moment in time. For some reason, Prado choosing not to double in. And you see the time that he loses, but then he gets good rhythm at the end of the straight and is right back onto the rear wheel. Oh, Maxime Renaux down again. So Renaux was in 11th place. Picks himself up, rejoins the race. A weekend to forget for the Frenchman. Arrived here second in points, will leave here fourth. That is not easy ground to make up, but we are only round 5. We've got a 19-round series. But Prado is running out of time here. Just over 5.5 minutes plus 2 to go. Still trying to find his way past number 10, Calvin Vlaanderen, the Gavin van Venrooy Yamaha rider, the tall South African. Not a factory-supported team, but he is all over the back of the factory rider, Jeremy Seewer. Seewer in 4th. Stay focused and make sure you don't fall out of pit lane there. A little bit of help needed. Great shot. Gold. So a bit of stalemate between these guys at the moment. Seewer in 4th, Vlaanderen 5th, Prado 6th. Yeah, Prado, I think he would have doubled in. Yes, he did. And he's realised that's where he was losing time. And he's all over the back of Vlaanderen all of a sudden. Lock the back brake, pivot turn, release the clutch. On the exit, control the spin. Difficult technique to master. These guys make it look so easy. Meanwhile, Herlings 6 seconds clear of Ruben Fernandez at the moment. This battle is about 3 seconds behind Romain Febvre. Fevre in 3rd, just dropping downhill now. You see the flash of the green. Factory Kawasaki, story of his race so far then. Started about 5th, muscled his way past Fevre to take over 4th. That was then bar to bar at the top of the hill. Then watch this move here on Seewer. Got at the inside. Seewer was getting ready and preparing for takeoff, but the flash of mudguard up the inside of him just spooked him, pulled out of that dirt jump into the waves. And that was Fevre into 3rd. Still no way through for Jorge Prado, though. Likewise for Calvin Vlaanderen. But with 3 minutes plus 2 to go, Herlings from Fernandez. And then we've got this battle here between Seewer, Vlaanderen and Prado as they dispute 4th place. Mattia Guadagnini in 7th place at the moment. losing touch with these three riders here, Seewer, Vlaanderen and Prado. Koldenhoff about 3 seconds further back. He's in 8th place, ahead of Valentin Guillaume and Brent Van Donnick. Maxime Renaux in 11th. Then we've got Ben Watson on the MRT Beta. Solid weekend for Watson. 2 12th place finishes. That'll be 12th overall for him. And that'll be for the 3rd time this year. But he did get 9th overall in Switzerland. So that will be the new target at the very least. What is still very much a development bike, that factory beta. Right, Prado now just starting to look a little bit flustered. He's tried insides, he's now trying outsides. He gets close, but he just can't make the move happen. And all the while, I think the rear wheels spinning up here, churning out all of that roost, littered with hard dirt and stones and rocks, into the face, into the forearms, into the chest, into the legs. Riders, like boxers, do get pretty seasoned to it, but it still hurts, still pings, still leaves its mark at the end of the weekend. Riders will be peppered with roost marks by the end of this one. "15 laps complete. Podium as it stands right now. Jeffrey Herlings on 45. Romain Febvre on 42. Jorge Prado on 40. Get another point if he finds his way past Vlaanderen. But even if he found his way past, well, he'd need to find his way past Seewer as well to take 2nd. Again, finding something down that back straight. Furthest point away from the finish line area. 1:15, Ashton Dickinson in just his first MXGP ride. Finding things tough here, but still circulating, which is good to see. Just looking at the clock, just trying to figure out, are we going to get the 2-lap board this time around? I think we will, because I think it might take Jeffrey Herlings, who's, you know what, he might just nip through before, well, 2 seconds, 1 second. Yeah, so it's going to be 2 laps to go this time around for Jeffrey Herlings. There he is. It's only a few seconds in it, though, wasn't there? Race 1 was 18 laps. We've had 16 now, so it's going to be the same duration. All of this based on time. 30 minutes. As soon as that is up, 2-lap board will go out, but the time has to have elapsed before the rider hits that line, and it did by a few seconds before Herlings found his way by on his Red Bull KTM. He's 7.3 seconds clear of Ruben Fernandez, and Romain Febvre another 7.5 adrift of the Spaniard. Not going to be good enough for Fernandez to make the podium here, though. Lives just a couple hours north of here in Portugal, in Spain, just over the border. 75, Hardy Rougeorg, JWR Honda just outside the points as well. Allows Herlings an easy route through. But this rider, Jeffrey Herlings, 14 months off a bike after a pre-season photo shoot went wrong. Turned up in Argentina, having ridden maybe, what, 3 pre-season races. And he's taken a weekend off since then. Wherever there's been a race, he's ridden. Dutch Championship, whatever it's been. That's the kind of work rate that the Bullet is putting in. That's how serious he is about a 6th world title. That's how serious he is about getting himself back into race fitness as well. You wouldn't know it from the 7.6 second advantage that he has as he's on his way to his 2nd race win of the season. But the determination and the single-mindedness is there for all to see. 1-lap board, getting ready though. Herlings on his final lap. 17 laps complete. Fernandez now 8 seconds further back. Likewise for Romain Febvre. Those two backing off, but This battle here, 3 seconds behind, still belongs to Jeremy Seewer in that 4th place. Vlaanderen 5th, Prado in 6th. Seewer dropping downhill. Vlaanderen, Prado, looking still like he wants to find his way past. 3rd overall, as it stands right now, launches into, but he was just a little bit untidy. Still going to be good enough for 3rd. Fevre, 2nd overall. And then, of course, Jeffrey Herlings with a 3rd and a 1st will be the overall Grand Prix winner. He'll be the race winner as well, so he'll seal it with a race win. When he won in Sardinia, that came with 2 second-place finishes. So is Jeffrey Herlings back, yes or no? Is he still trying to work his way into contention? So Jeffrey Herlings then, en route to taking the checkered flag. And Jeffrey Herlings rounds out the final turn. The Red Bull KTM rider wins race 2, wins the Portuguese Grand Prix, and with it takes his 101st Grand Prix victory, equals the great Stefan Everts. 2nd overall will go to Romain Febvre. He looks over his shoulder. He's got time in his pocket. He crossed the line in 3rd. Seewer 4th. Vlaanderen 5th. Prado crosses the line in 6th. But it was Herlings victorious with a 3-1. Fevre 2nd overall with a 2-3. Prado with a 1-6. That's how it ends here in Portugal. But all the headlines will be about Jeffrey Herlings. 101 Grand Prix victories for the Bullet. And he will be getting ready to talk to Lisa Leyland in a moment. But probably just going to get a bit of a mop down first of all, though. But what a fascinating Grand Prix here once again. Anyway, here is Lisa with the Bullet.
Jeffrey Herlings with a 3rd and a race win. That's your 2nd overall of the season. That now makes 101 GP victories.
Yeah, we're matching Stefan now. So the next thing is try to pass him. But it was a good one. I actually felt pretty good all weekend long. Just beginning of every session, especially like the first motor and the qualifying heat when I didn't ride much. I was really struggling with arm pump, but throughout the second motor, I felt good, like no arm bump, and I could just ride my own race, and then you can see what I could do. And it's also the same with his first motor, last 10 laps when the arm pump went down. But you know, we keep building from here. We had a good weekend, only round 5, I think, so a lot of racing ahead of us.
Thanks, Jeffrey.
Jeffrey Herlings wins the Portuguese Grand Prix here, the Red Bull KTM rider now. 101 Grand Prix victories, equals the all-time great Stefan Everts, 101 Grand Prix victories. It's his 5th Grand Prix victory here in Portugal in Águeda. Jeffrey Herlings wins with a 3-1 here today. Give you the race classification first, though. Jeffrey Herlings wins it from Ruben Fernandez and Romain Febvre. Jeremy Seewer crossed the line 4th, ahead of Kevin Vlaanderen and a frustrated Jorge Prado. Glenn Koldenoff was next. And then we had Mattia Guadagnini, Valentin Guillot, Brent Van Donnick and Maxime Renaux. Ben Watson crossing the line 12th, ahead of Brian Bogers, Benoit Paturel, Alberto Ferrato and Alvin Osland, with Max Spies, Tom Cock, Paolo Alberto, Michael Ivanoff rounding out the points. The overall classification then, Jeffrey Herlings 3-1 for his 101st Grand Prix victory. Fevre, second visit to the podium this year with a 2-3, and Prado yet to finish up the podium this year. Third overall for the championship leader. Fernandez and Seewer ran out the top 5. Championship now looks like this. 17 points separate Jorge Prado from Jeffrey Herlings. Same gap at the start of the weekend, but it was Maxime Renaux who was second. He is now dropped to 4th. Herlings goes from 3rd to 2nd. His gap was 26 points at the start of the weekend between him and Prado, 27 after the first race. So good work for the Bullet today. And yeah, but for Jorge Prado, you have to say, nothing ventured, nothing gained. Started hit of the day with 17 points, leaves with 17 points. And we go to Spain in a week's time as well, the home of Jorge Prado. How hot will he be there? Can he extend that points gap? No change in the Manufacturers' Championship. Yamaha still lead the way from Gas and KTM. Kawasaki, though, would have made a little bit of ground today with Fevre's podium. Already the foxhole shut sign being pulled over as we prepare to go to Spain. But let's take a look at who it was that bagged. It was very close, wasn't it? Jeremy Seewer by about a gnat's knacker. And there he is, collecting his black plates, his second of the season for the Monster Energy Yamaha rider. Prado on 6, Seewer on 2, Fevre on 1. Glenn Koldenoff also has 1. Let's get ready for the podium then here in Portugal. As you can see, MXGP race 2, the last race of the day, gives the fans the opportunity just to sort of very gently break the fences down, if you like, and make their way down the start straight or wherever the skybox might be at that Grand Prix, of course, behind the gate. But there you go. We are getting ready for our podium here in Portugal. Jeffrey Herlings' bike there, front and centre. But Fevre, second overall this weekend. Jorge Prado yet to finish off the podium. Third overall here this weekend, the MXGP of Portugal in Águeda. Jorge Prado, Red Bull Gas Factor Racing. Bittersweet for him because obviously third overall is on the podium, yes. Yet to finish off the podium, yes. He still leads the championship, but he'll look at this as points thrown away. Romain Febvre, second overall, Kawasaki Racing Team MXGP with his second visit to the podium this year. Third in Switzerland, second here in Portugal with a 2-3. But Jeffrey Herlings, 101 Grand Prix victories now for the Bullet. The Red Bull KTM rider, arm pump in race 1, nothing of the sort in race 2. He does it with a 3-1 here, his 5th victory on Portuguese soil at this venue in Águeda. Antonio Cairoli stands on the top step of the podium as well. His team manager for Red Bull KTM Factor Racing. 94 Grand Prix victories for the 9-time world champion. Third place trophy to Jorge Prado. Red Bull KTM Factor Racing. Romain Febvre will take his second place trophy from Silvia Ribal, the Centre of Portugal Tourism. And Romain Febvre, his 56th visit to the podium as a rider. But Jeffrey Herlings, your winner, Red Bull KTM Factor Racing, 101 GP wins. Can he make it 102 in Spain? Or will it be Jorge Prado on the top step. What about Romain Febvre? He's due a Grand Prix victory. Of course he is. Jorge Almeida, the mayor of Águeda, thank you for having us this part of the world once again, sir. 24th running of the Grand Prix here in Águeda. And you can't do it without the help of the local dignitaries, the council, police, security, all those kind of people, local sponsors as well. But Antonio Alia Portela, the FIM CMS director, will hand the championship leader's red plate back to Jorge Prado, who's held it since the first round. And so far this year, 2/3 a second, a third and a third in that order. 5 Grand Prix, 5 podiums. And they will be looking forward to Madrid in a week's time. But for Jeffrey Herlings and the army of Dutch fans, the national anthem of the Netherlands. National anthem of the Netherlands for Jeffrey Herlings. National anthem of Austria for KTM, winning manufacturer this weekend. Jeffrey Herlings, Red Bull KTM Factory Racing on the top step of the podium for the 101st time, a record equaling 101 GP victories for Jeffrey Herlings this weekend in Portugal. Joining him on the podium, second overall, Romain Febvre, who does it with a second and a third, and third overall, the championship leader with a win 6, Jorge Prado. Here's the highlights of the race. MXGP Race 2 burst into life, and it was Jeremy Seewer for the second time this year who crossed the Foxhole shot line. It was neck and neck between him and Prado, though. He led the way, Fernandez second. Herlings quickly into third by the time he got around the outside of Prado at the bottom of turn 3. Seewer then took over the lead. He was harassed, though. Fernandez led by the time they hit the line. And then top of the hill, that was Fevre going into 4th place with that move on Fevre. He then fought back immediately, did the Frenchman. And then Prado had this lucky escape. Lost at 5th place to Vlaanderen. Cost him 1 World Championship point as well as a position. Couldn't find his way back past the number 10 either. Scything move down the inside. Jeffrey Herlings took the lead from Ruben Fernandez. That was on lap 5. And then Fevre got himself into a commanding position at the top of the hill to prevent Seewer jumping into the waves. Maxime Renaux just having one of those days today. He finished the race in 11th place. He lost second in the championship as well. He leaves here 4th overall. But Jeffrey Herlings rounding out with a 9-second win over Ruben Fernandez and Romain Febvre. And with it, his 101st Grand Prix victory. He now moves to 2nd in the championship.
Jeffrey Herlings, great job. 101 GP victories. You secured it with a race win. I know it was King's Day in Holland a couple of days ago, so a nice late present for your king.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if you noticed, but at least, yeah, it was really great to come here and then have another win. You know, the road where I came from was a long road, so I feel like I'm slowly, step by step, coming back. I'm still not the old one, but I'm still feeling like I'm still growing. So very pleased with the performance today. And riding was good, obviously, like I said before my post-race interview, that the first motor wasn't great, but second motor felt good again. So looking forward to Spain next weekend, and we'll see where we get there.
Thanks, Jeffrey. Second overall today, we have Romain Febvre. Romain, it's your second podium of the year, actually the best result all season. Second and a third, nice move on Seewer there for that third in that race.
Yeah, it was close racing. Also first moto. Yeah, I felt good all weekend long, and yeah, took some good start, and then yeah, first moto all second place, like all the time second behind Prado, and yeah, it was close racing, and second moto also. I managed to pass few guys, and then yeah, take a second overall. So I'm really happy, taking some points back on the championship, which is really good, and. Yeah, let's see in Spain what can I do.
Thanks, Romain. Third overall today we have Jorge Prado. Jorge, you won that first race. A lot more work to do in that second race. Came in 17-point gap. You haven't lost anything. You haven't gained anything. So how are you feeling when you reflect on this weekend?
I think I rode pretty good both days. Second start was better than the first one, but Seewer was in the inside, so he overjumped a little bit that first jump coming to the second corner, and he pushed me wide. So many guys came in the inside, so then I was charging, and just before the pits, I lost the front on the wall jump, and I almost crashed. I hurt a little bit my shoulder, and I kind of spent a few laps to regroup, and I pushed hard. I couldn't pass Vlaanderen. We came close to Romain, especially to Seewer. And I really tried that last lap on the outside, just coming to the last sector, and I just missed it. So yeah, let's say I'm happy with my riding, happy with my fitness, and I just need to thank the whole Red Bull Gas Factory Racing team, and we are really looking forward next weekend in Spain. We go for the victory there.
Thanks, Jorge.
Almost out of time here then, but Jorge Prado, Red Bull Gas Factory Racing, leaves here still with his 17 lead intact. Tough weekend though for him, 1-6. Still keeps his 50% win rate intact though in terms of race finishes. Goes to Spain, his home Grand Prix next weekend. He'll be hoping for bigger and better things there. So too will Romain Febvre. Best result of the season so far for the Kawasaki factory rider. Second and a third, second overall for the Frenchman. Is he just one step away from the top step?